Welcome in, boys. It's Saturday afternoon. They're playing in the association. I got the boys with me from runpurebets.com. Spread is there. Tyler Hicks. We're going to break down a couple NBA games. We're going to start with the Utah Jazz, Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously, the Thunder haven't played yet. First game for Chris Paul and the squad. They take on the Utah Jazz, who had a great comeback win against the Pelicans, who've seen a lot of line movement in this game. Oklahoma City opens up a 1-point dog. They are now -2 at Bovada, -1.5 at Bet Online. What do you like in this game spread?
Yeah, so I like the Thunder here. We all watched the Jazz and the Pelicans kick off the NBA restart on Thursday night, and I wasn't that impressed with the Jazz. I almost felt the Pelicans lost that game rather than the Jazz winning it. Obviously, we give the Jazz credit for getting the stops and confounding the offense towards the end of the game against the Pelicans, but a lot of that had to do with the Pelicans fatigue. I don't think Gentry did a very good job of handling Ingram or Ball because they both looked dead tired in those last 4 minutes, and I think that contributed a lot to the fact that the Jazz were able to step up and take that game. Now we're looking at a Chris Paul-led team in the Oklahoma City Thunder, a veteran presence. One thing I've seen about Chris Paul during the scrimmages, his voice was everywhere throughout the whole gym. You can hear Paul shouting out instructions, letting his teammates know where to be on defense, and really controlling the game. I really like that aspect for the Thunder. I think Paul's leadership helps out a lot here. And also, Steven Adams is stronger than Rudy Gobert, so that'll be an interesting matchup for Gobert. Usually he's used to being the big, strong guy down in the post. Even though he's thin, at 7'3", he's got some muscle. Steven Adams, strongest player in the league, in my opinion. So I think that Gobert is not going to be able to have the same rebounding advantage that he usually does. And overall, I just like the Thunder as a team. I think that we'll have a better coach here, and I think they're going to go ahead and get this done and cover the spread.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the total. That total opens up 212 and has now ballooned to 217 at 5 dimes, 216.5 at Bet Online. Before I go to Tyler, what do you think about the total spread?
Yeah, and I think this is emblematic of what we talked about on our NBA preview show that we did with Whale and Ski, and that's the idea that they set these totals too low. And then, of course, the first game comes out and goes under, but ever since then, they've been soaring over. Yesterday, they were putting up massive amounts of points in the league. These guys are used to the gym. As long as the coaches use the minutes right and don't have to completely fatigue players out there at the end, these guys can make it. I mean, they've been playing in the same gym for 2 to 3 weeks. They're used to the sight lines, and these are talented NBA players. The defensive rotations are not as crisp, and I expect the points to keep getting put up on the board.
All right, there you go. Tyler, I know you're our resident props guy at Run Pure Bets. Before I ask you about any props, the total now moves from 212 to 217. The line now moves from Oklahoma City +1 to -1.5. Is there anything that you like since the move that's going to get you involved in this game, or just looking at props?
For this game, I'm strictly looking at props. I mean, either side you can argue for to win this game. I mean, OKC, I would lean OKC to win the game, but would I be surprised if Quinn Snyder outcoaches Billy Donovan and beats him in this game? Not really. I mean, we all know Billy Donovan's not the best coach. It's going to come down to Chris Paul having these guys ready on the floor, making sure there's no young mistakes happening. So, yeah, I'd lean OKC to win this game. And on the total, I'd still lean over. I mean, I still don't think that number's high enough. Just like we talked about last night, when you shoot on the same hoop for so long, you just get used to those rims. These guys have been shooting on these hoops for, almost a month? These guys are just going to keep making their shots.
So did you bet a prop in this game?
I didn't, but there was one look I had. I might pull the trigger on it before the game. It's a player points match bet, and it's Gallinari over Donovan Mitchell at +188.
Wow, that's an interesting look. Yeah, at +188. All right, so spread beat the line move, obviously. If you guys go over to runpurebets.com, today is the last day that you'll be able to lock in that 15% discount. And, all the free picks are available for the MLB slate, the NBA slate, UFC Fight Night tonight. You can go check that out if you'd like. But we hit the CLV there. Second game, Pelicans, man, shit the bed epically in that opener against the Utah Jazz. Now they play a team in the Clippers who also lost against a tough Lakers squad. So both teams looking for a win here. They only got an 8-game season. The line opens up, the Clippers -5, and it has basically stayed at 5. Total opens up 226.5. Again, these totals are flying. Over 232.5 currently at Bovada, 233 at Heritage. 6-point move to the total. Spread, what do we like?
I like the Clippers in this game here. I was not impressed with the Pelicans. I was kind of big on them going into this restart. It looks like Gentry completely flubbed the entry into it, mismanaged the minutes. He played Zion too few minutes, plays the other guys too many minutes. They looked dog-tired at the end, not using the reserves correctly, and they just weren't running the plays that they needed to be successful. Now they're going to go against the Clippers team who lost to the Lakers, arguably the best team in the league. The difference in defense is going to be astounding after having to match up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who both played excellent defense, especially at the end of that Clippers game. Now they go against a much weaker defensive team. The Pelicans were giving up points all year to anybody and everybody. This will be a nice get-back game for the Clippers. I expect them to get a lead. I expect them to keep it, and I think they're going to cover the spread of -5.
I like it. What do you think, T?
Yeah, I'm with spread here. I mean, if this is two different teams showing up to play each other, you got one that likes to run, another one's a defensive-minded team. I think the defensive-minded team wins today with the Clippers. I think they're after losing that close game to the Lakers, they're looking to take that little bit of frustration out, and they're going to take it out on the Pelicans.
I mean, you can only look at an under right now in this game if you didn't bet the over at the opener of 226.5 because you already lost 6 points of value there. Are you guys even thinking about pulling the trigger on the under based on what we've seen the first 2 days?
My idea for that would be to hang out with us on the live betting show. We're going to maybe see if that first quarter comes out hot, that number hits 240, 241. I'd love to hit an under in that range. If we hit it early, you would have a huge middle opportunity. Obviously, that's gone with the way that line's sorted up. But I think that we might have an opportunity tonight, and I'll be definitely keeping an eye on that game during our live betting show on Run Pure Bets tonight.
Tyler, from a props perspective, anything that you liked in this Clippers game?
The one I really liked was Paul George over 3.5 threes made at +126. He's healthy, but we've seen him make 4 to 5 last game against the Lakers. In his 2 games against the Pelicans, he's made 4. This team's going to want to run. They don't play much defense. He should be shooting threes all game. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up 40 today.
All right, there you go, boys. A Saturday 2-pack in the association. We'll be back at 6 o'clock on the Run Pure Bets YouTube network for our live betting fight cast. Obviously, we're going to start at 6 o'clock. We'll go right through the main card and the main event. And then we're back tomorrow for some NASCAR, MLB, and NBA live betting. We'll also probably be live betting MLB and NBA tonight in addition to the UFC fight night. We hope we helped you guys find the edge. We'll see you tonight at 6.